Welcome to a journey into the dark and twisted world of documentaries that are so chilling they once attracted FBI scrutiny. In today's video, we'll explore astonishing discoveries from underground horror films to shocking exposés of hidden crime rings and covert government experiments. These stories prove that sometimes the truth captured on camera is scarier than any fiction. Buckle up and prepare for a ride through real-life cases, controversial footage, and startling revelations that will leave you questioning everything you thought you knew about what's real. Have you ever seen a film so grotesque it makes you question reality? Released in the murky underground of 1980s Japanese horror, Guinea Pig 2, Flower of Flesh and Blood, quickly developed a cult following thanks to its brutally graphic scenes and unsettling special effects. Rumors soon swirled that what you were watching might not be simulated violence at all, but real, unsimulated gore. The film's hyper-realistic details sparked whispers among horror fans that it could have been a snuff film. So disturbing were the scenes that authorities, including the FBI, reportedly took a closer look to determine if any actual crime had been committed during production. Although no definitive evidence ever surfaced linking it to real acts of violence, the mere possibility sent shockwaves through both the cinematic and law enforcement communities. Today, Guinea Pig 2 remains a notorious example of how extreme, on-screen content can blur the lines between art and alleged reality, fueling decades of debate and fear. Can you really trust what you see on screen? Few films have sparked as much debate as the infamous Faces of Death series. Promising to document genuine death and decay, the film's relentless, shocking images had audiences wondering, were these moments captured as they happened, or were they elaborately staged? As controversy mounted, complaints began to pour in about the disturbing nature of the footage. Law enforcement agencies, including the FBI, were drawn into the investigation to determine whether any of the images were the result of real criminal acts or if they merely crossed the bounds of acceptable exploitation. Although many of the grisly scenes were later admitted to be faked, the investigation itself highlighted a crucial dilemma. How do we regulate art that seems too real? The case of Faces of Death still challenges filmmakers and regulators today, prompting essential questions about ethics, censorship, and the responsibilities of those who push the envelope in documentary filmmaking. Is there any truth to the urban myth of snuff films? For decades, the notion of snuff films, videos that capture actual violent crimes without any stagecraft, has been a fixture in urban legend. Over the years, various documentaries and underground releases have claimed to provide unedited glimpses of these real crimes, leaving audiences both horrified and fascinated. The FBI has routinely kept a wary eye on such footage, launching investigations to ensure that these films were not, in fact, genuine records of criminal activity. While no confirmed snuff film has ever been authenticated, the fervor surrounding these legends led to extensive research and numerous documentaries dissecting the myth. Investigators pored over reels and digital files, determined to draw a clear line between artful reenactment and the potential promotion of actual violence. This relentless quest for the truth underscores how legends can become dangerously compelling, and why even the mere suggestion of their reality forces authorities to act. What if your attic held secrets too dark to imagine? Sometimes the most chilling footage isn't found in a movie theater or on the internet, it's tucked away in forgotten home video archives. In a few jaw-dropping cases, documentaries have unearthed home tapes that captured events too disturbing to ignore. One such case involved a trove of recordings from a small town in the late 1980s, where a series of inexplicable disappearances had long haunted local lore. When a dedicated filmmaker discovered these tapes, they revealed raw, unedited moments that hinted at a crime lurking in the background of everyday life. The authenticity and context of the footage were so unsettling that local law enforcement eventually called in the FBI to re-examine cold cold case evidence. Investigators combed through every frame, searching for clues that might resolve a mystery decades in the making. This discovery reminds us that sometimes the most potent horrors aren't manufactured, they're hidden in plain sight, waiting in dusty attics for the truth to resurface. There's a reason abandoned asylums have become the go-to setting for horror stories. Beyond their crumbling walls and eerie corridors, some of these long-forgotten institutions harbor darker secrets. Documentaries that delve into their past have occasionally unearthed evidence of unethical experiments conducted on desperate patients, a grim echo of notorious programs like MKUltra. Although MKUltra was primarily a CIA operation, related investigations often caught the attention of the FBI when alleged cover-ups emerged. One riveting documentary pieced together declassified records and survivor testimonies to reveal how vulnerable patients were subjected to inhumane experiments without their consent. The FBI's involvement wasn't just about probing governmental misconduct, it was also about ensuring that the full, unvarnished truth was brought to light. Did a documentary expose covert operations hidden for decades? The Cold War era remains one of the most secretive and tension-filled periods in modern history, rife with espionage, mind control experiments, and covert surveillance. Some daring documentaries took it upon themselves to peel back the layers of secrecy, exposing hidden operations that even many government insiders were reluctant to discuss. One particularly riveting film unearthed claims of clandestine experiments and surveillance techniques used to control public behavior and manipulate political outcomes. The documentary combined declassified documents, whistleblower interviews, and expert analysis to create a tapestry of intrigue that sent chills down the spines of viewers and, reportedly, into the halls of the FBI. With concerns that such revelations might compromise national security or expose illegal operations, authorities launched inquiries to verify the explosive claims. Even decades later, the legacy of these covert activities continues to spark heated debates about government accountability and the true cost of secrecy. Can a documentary reveal the inner workings of a dangerous cult? Documentaries about cults have a unique power. They lure you into a world of extreme beliefs, secret rituals, and hidden manipulation. One particularly unsettling film from the 1970s took viewers deep inside the mysterious practices of a little-known cult whose methods were as disturbing as they were effective. Through rare interviews, candid confessions, and former members, and footage never before seen by the public, the documentary exposed how the cult not only exploited its followers emotionally and financially, but also dabbled in criminal activities that threatened entire communities. The revelations were so incendiary that they spurred renewed FBI interest in past unsolved cases linked to the group. Investigators re-examined evidence and re-interviewed witnesses, uncovering details that had long been buried. What happens when hidden camera footage exposes a criminal empire? Sometimes the most impactful documentaries are those that go straight into the heart of criminal activity, using nothing more than a hidden camera and sheer determination to expose the truth. In one gripping case, an intrepid filmmaker set out to document the activities of an elusive underground crime ring. With covert footage capturing secret meetings, coded conversations, and unguarded moments of brutality, the resulting documentary painted a vivid picture of a criminal empire thriving in the shadows. The unfiltered evidence was so compelling that it didn't take long for the FBI to take notice. Agents began to piece together the fragmented clues from the footage, eventually leading to a full-scale investigation and a series of high-profile arrests. This case not only highlighted the sheer audacity of the criminal underworld, but also underscored the power of guerrilla filmmaking in uncovering truths that many would prefer to keep hidden. Do you believe in the supernatural, or are these cases too real to be mere myth? Exorcisms have always walked a fine line between spiritual ritual and unsettling spectacle. In recent years, a handful of documentaries have dared to capture real-life exorcisms, rituals that are raw, unfiltered, and deeply disturbing. One such documentary took viewers into a small town where a series of exorcisms were performed under the watchful eyes of both believers and skeptics. Interviews with witnesses, religious experts, and even some of the participants painted a picture of a community torn between faith and fear. The intensity of the documented rituals was so extraordinary that the FBI eventually became involved, not to debunk the supernatural, but to ensure that the practices didn't cross into illegal or abusive territory. While critics argued that much of the footage could have been staged or exaggerated, the investigation affirmed that some of the events were indeed genuine, leaving viewers with a lingering question. When does a spiritual practice become exploitation, and how far is too far when documenting the inexplicable? Can a documentary pull back the curtain on hidden power plays? In an age of constant media bombardment, one might assume that every scandal has already been exposed, until a daring documentary comes along to change the game. One film delved into the murky realm of political espionage and corruption, revealing secret alliances and covert operations that many believed were locked away in classified files. Through painstaking research, confidential interviews, and leaked documents, the documentary painted a startling portrait of political maneuvering that went far beyond public knowledge. The revelations were so explosive that they caught the attention of the FBI, which launched its own review to verify the authenticity of the documents and trace the origins of the leaked evidence. This investigation underscored the delicate balance between investigative journalism and national security, proving that even decades-old secrets can have explosive consequences today. The film challenges us to look beyond the polished narratives of mainstream media and consider the complex interplay between power, secrecy, and accountability. Alright guys, that has been our list for today. Thanks so much for checking it out. I've been your host today, Olivia Kozlowski, and I will see you next time. Bye!